We live in a Twilight world. Let's make another quick video. I hope this one's going to be real quick. So 4 days ago, I think it was Palm Sunday over in Ukraine, there was a missile strike or missile attack in a place called Sumy. Here, I'll play a quick video so you know what I'm talking about. So that took place on the 13th of April 2025. In case you're watching this like well into the future, yeah? That was Palm Sunday, yeah? Over in Ukraine. I don't know if it is Palm Sunday over here in the UK, but Palm Sunday it was in Ukraine. So I took a screenshot from that little video. This is the building here. Ignore this warning. Warning, some viewers may find the following footage distressing. I just took a screenshot, yeah? Because I want you to look at this building here. And then, do you agree that this is the same building? Yeah, the Congress Center of Sumy State University. You can see the curved glass there. This little pitched roof here on the entrance. I've done a little side-by-side here. As you can see, the curved window glass structure. So that's the building, you know, intact. What we'd say that's the building on a normal day. And then here's the building damaged from some sort of explosion. Allegedly a missile strike. But look, it's the same building, yeah? Now let's go and check this out on a map. Okay, here we are on Google Maps. Yeah, let's get rid of this picture. The building in question, Congress Center of Sumy State University. Now, what are the odds that to the left of it is a theatre building and to the right of it is a theatre building? Yeah? This one is the Sumy Regional Theatre for Children and Youth. This one over here, the bigger one, is the Shkepkin Theatre. Like so. And there we got the We Laugh, We Cried masks. But, you know, what are the odds that the World Stage Theatre event that happened 4 days ago happened to be right outside of a theatre building? Now, if you have been following my work for some time now, you'll know that this is something I keep track of. Whenever there is World Stage Theatre, there seems to be a theatre building involved, or something similar like an opera house, a performing arts centre, a film studio, a movie studio, or something like that. Or the people in question, the guy that would have died would have been an actor, yeah? Or a theatre performer, or a stage director, or something along those lines. There always seems to be some sort of connection between a major event and a theatre, yeah? Now, I'm saying to you, this is the wink-wink Twilight language, yeah? Revelation of the method, you might want to say, of these, you know, like the hidden hand letting us know that it is, in fact, actual theatre, yeah? Fully immersive 4D theatre. So you can go and check all this yourself. If you write on Google Maps, Congress Center of Sumy State University, as you can see, it's temporarily closed. That's because 4 days ago, the alleged attack happened. Now, like I said earlier, it was on Palm Sunday. That's obviously going to be a holiday, right? So nobody's going to be doing anything in the Congress Center. The building's going to be empty, yeah? Now, as for how the Hidden Hand, how the Ghost Legion, who are the foot soldiers of the Hidden Hand, would have done this, very easily, right? I'll go through that very quickly, but I just want to say this is a theory. I'm just outlining a theory on how the Ghost Legion, or the League of Shadows, whatever you want to call them, yeah, Operation Gladio on steroids, would have done this. So, and it's purely for entertainment purposes. I'm going to say this for legal reasons. Don't take anything I say seriously. It's all fiction. I'm just a character playing a role, blah, 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 blah. But so here's the building in question, the Congress Center. What they would have done is perhaps set up in this here would have been ideal. Yeah. Vivellini Stadium. So whatever that is, a football stadium, a sports stadium, would be ideal for them to go in here. You literally need 4 or 5 men. Yeah. And something like a mortar weapon system. Let me just quickly show you what a mortar is, for those that don't know. Here we are. This is a mortar weapon system. Yeah, I'm sure you have seen one of these at some point in your life, regardless of whether you're in the military or not. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I want this video to be nice and short. But this is a very simple and effective weapon, and it's very light and portable, yeah? It was originally designed for mountain warfare, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But, you know, the way it fires is at a really high angle, and then gravity does the rest of the work. So, when the enemy was using the terrain as defense, yeah, this was ideal because it would go over the top of the mountain ranges. It would go over the top of the hilltops and hit round the other side, yeah? And of course, as well, it's very light, meaning you could also be very mobile and quick when you yourself was moving around the mountain ranges. When you're fighting in the mountains, you don't want anything heavy like artillery or howitzers, because that'd be a lot of hard work moving it through the bush, through the jungle, up and down hilltops and so on, yeah? So something very light and portable is what you need. Now, all of this stuff I'm talking about is transferable, yeah? Just like these weapon systems are good for mountain ranges, they're also good for the urban environment. Just like the mortar round goes over a hilltop, it can go over a skyscraper. Yeah? Also, when you're trying to be discreet and clandestine, like the Ghost Legion, this is ideal. You can hide this in the back of a very small van. You get what I'm saying here? I'll do a longer video at some point going into full details, but that's enough for now. I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying. Yeah? So, back to the map, yeah. A football stadium or sports stadium would be ideal because it's got such high walls, it will conceal you from the public. Yeah? And it has an open roof. There's no roof, it's all open air, isn't it? So you can fire artillery rounds or mortar rounds out from the top and no one can see you, yeah? Like I said, it would probably be on the back of a very, very small van. Yeah, a very light van, so it doesn't fuck up the football pitch itself and leave any evidence. Having said that, they could also probably park up like somewhere here, the other side of the stadium and so on. Quickly get out, fire their rounds, throw it in the back of the van, move on very quickly, shoot and scoot. All you would need is forward observers, what we call FOs, around here, who will, once they see that the streets are clear and no one's around, they will call in the mortar strike on the empty building. Yeah? Now, if you've actually looked into this story, you'll know there was 2 alleged missile strikes. This is ideal, right? Because with the first strike on the empty building, a few people are now going to turn up and film it, right? Including the Ghost Legion themselves. Their main goal is to not only blow up the building or drop the round outside the building so the shockwave takes out all the windows and glass, but it's also to film it. But naturally, you know, the fire brigade are going to turn up, the police are going to turn up, the army are going to turn up, right? Because Ukraine is under martial law. There's a lot of military walking the streets. Yeah. Whilst they're all over here, the other FOs, forward observers, calling the artillery strike, mortar strike, here. Whilst these guys are in the middle of filming the aftermath of this one, they're going to catch the loud explosion over here. You see how ideal that works? It's beautiful when you think about it, right? Yeah. I mean, what they're trying to say, what the mainstream media are trying to say is that Russia had done 2 strikes. One to basically draw the fire brigade and police and army into an area, and the second to hit them. But the actual second strike was down here, right outside the Shkepkin Theatre, on the corner by the coffee shop. Go and watch the videos yourself. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, so it's very simple, right? You wouldn't need that many Ghost Legion troops. Now, as for the whole dead bodies that were, you know, you could see them getting stretchered out and that, I'm not going to go into that in this video because this video will then be very long. I want to keep this video under 15 minutes so I can put it on Instagram. I'll do a more in-depth, slower video with detail. Maybe later on today, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, forward observer. They see the streets and the building is empty. They call in the mortar strike from a 2-3-man team that's in here. It hits here, which is the target, not the actual building, because you want the shockwave to smash the windows. You want it to visually be more destructive than actually destructive. Once people gather here, including members of the Ghost Legion that are dressed up as civilians and are filming the whole thing, mortar strike number 2 lands here. These guys film or they sort of catch it in their original videos, which is filming here. Yeah? Like I said, this is all just theory. I'm just telling you how it could have potentially have been done via the Ghost Legion if it was them. Equally, what the mainstream media are telling us could be completely true. It was a long-range ballistic missile from Russia. I don't know. It's up for you guys to decide. Yeah, at the end of the day, none of us are there, you know, sitting here behind a Black Mirror iPad talking about it is kind of a very loserish thing to do. I'd much rather have been there in person and then have more weight and evidence behind what I'm saying, boots on the ground. But, you know, very hard to get in Ukraine, even harder to film at all, let alone actual events. The main thing I wanted to point out was, like I said, the World Stage Theatre of this week happened right in front of not only 1, but 2 theatre buildings. Incredible stuff, yeah. Once again, wink wink language, revelation of the method, letting you know that the actual World Stage Theatre is literally World Stage Theatre. We live in a Twilight world. There are no friends at dusk.